G'day, Andrew here from Hutchin and Pierce. Again here at Ben Sims' place at Orange with a few of the larger models. We've just touched on the residential mowers, and we're going to spend some time talking about the Gator that you see behind me, 1 Series and the 4 Series. And I suppose this is a bit of our bread and butter compact tractor lineup. Two of my favourites that we'll touch on in a moment, the 1 Series and the 4 Series. And I'll tell you why, but we'll kick off here, Ben, with, I suppose, your favourite, which is the Gator.
It's my workhorse. So I use this dead set every day, this thing. Like, just on a property, obviously getting around, carting gear around, mowers, snippers, this and that. Everyday use.
Yeah.
I mean, the cab is very much a luxury, but I've enjoyed it. It's been great.
Yeah, awesome. And that's a really good point, because I talk to a lot of guys on farms, and even small acreage, that they go, I can't justify a Gator. You know, I've got a ute, I can drive around in my ute, but then they buy a Gator and they're never out of it.
Exactly. Once you get it, like, as soon as you guys drop it off, I was like, every day. Just even little things like getting grass clippings and chucking them out somewhere else. Just a lot of things that you use it for.
Right. And they're lighter, easier on the turf.
Yep.
You can get, you know, different tyres. This has got the Bighorns.
So can you get turf tyres?
You can get turf tyres, yep.
Beautiful.
These are more of the extreme. You can get an all-terrain style as well,
yep.
Which is quite handy.
Beautiful.
But what we're looking at here is the XUV865R, which is the top of the line in our crossover work series Gators. It comes R spec, so the higher that last letter means, the higher the spec level. Hence why we've got the beautiful cab in here, which is more like getting into a luxury yacht than getting into a Gator, as I always say. But yeah, heating, aircon, perfect for the orange winters.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's freezing here.
The tub itself is similar to previous models. A similar payload, about 450 kilos as like a normal, you know, Falcon Ute type payload. You can get them an electronic assist tip, and also road registerable as well. Nice and easy, just with one hand lever to empty them out, which is super handy. How have you found it? Like, even with those big amounts of dirt and things that you're cleaning out the car park,
it was fine. The only thing I was thinking about was suspension when it brings it down. But
yeah.
like, when I was driving it, you don't even feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. The amount of torque in this thing, like, it's just next level. You know what I mean?
And good point, you can get in here and you can actually see the independent suspension, so all 4 wheels are independent. On the XUV series as well, they're adjustable, so you've got an adjustable spring in there to make them a bit stiffer if you like.
Yeah, right.
Easy access to the fuel tank, easy access for servicing and stuff from when the tray's tipped up as well. Little 3-cylinder diesel. You can get them in a petrol. The petrol ones do go a bit quicker. These are limited to 50 k's an hour, which if some people are chasing cattle and stuff, they often go for the petrol, which gets up to more in your 70 odd kilometers an hour.
I don't need speed here, it's all humpy, bumpy and perfect. This is probably almost perfect, this sort of block, you know what I mean? Like, not ripping around trying to get somewhere quick.
Yeah.
I haven't got cattle.
And although it's been
sheep.
Although it's been wet, you know, it's not always wet. And if it gets drier, it's nice to have a diesel without the hot muffler and stuff, like what a petrol can run.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, in the cab, you come and jump in here. Still kept the protection on the seats.
Oh yeah, my kids stand on it, so that's why.
That's a good idea. Yeah. But yeah, all cloth interior, all the racing leather wrap steering wheel, and the rubberized steering wheel, but the dash, you know, interior panels fully sealed. Got that good dust seal right around the cab. Windscreen wipers, rear view mirrors. It's a two range belt CVT as well, so you got your high, low and reverse. You've also got your 4-wheel drive, which is all switchable from the cabin here on the rocker switch. And a good point to note around that too is it's not designed to be constant 4-wheel drive. It's really a true 4-wheel drive to get you out of sticky situations.
Well, I never really knew how to use it here, even going up big slopes and stuff when it's wet.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I chucked in the four-wheel drive once. I did muck around with it, but
That's right.
but I didn't need it.
They're so sure-footed across rocks,
Yeah.
and
They're great.
nice and easy access to your diff lock as well up here. If you do really need to get out of some tricky situations. And then foot operated park brake, the lock there to hold it out. Simple automotive style controls with your accelerator and brake. And glove box and heap of room for storage.
Lots of room. Even under the seat, there's storage in there as well, which probably still got some stuff in there actually.
That's it. And I suppose the change with the 865 series was the change to the 3-seat, and it's a true 3-seater across the bench here. Pretty much seating capacity all the way to the edge of the doors, where the older ones were a little bit of a more compact design. Awesome.
That's good. Beautiful.
Cool. Right, yeah. We'll move on to some tractors. Okay, so like I said, the 1025R and the 4044R are my two favourites. One, because I really want one of these on my home block.
They're handy.
But two, because the 4044R it's just come out fully factory fit loader option direct from the factory. Whereas on some of the smaller ones we use local manufacturers like Challenge here in Orange to supply the loaders. And that sort of gets back to the North Series 4 compact tractor that we had in the 90s and the 2000s with those John Deere loaders that just are unbelievable. So the main differences here: 1 Series smaller compact design, ability to put a mid-mount mower deck, finishing mower style, or have the flexibility to have the 3-point linkage implements at the back. This one's fitted with a Challenge loader with a 4-in-1 function grab on the bucket, which is really, really handy. Pulling out posts, pulling out stumps, backblading, a whole heap of stuff. You can lock that out too if need be, but it's just easy operated from a switch on the joystick. The 1025R, name and numbering. So 1 stands for the family, so the 1 family, and our tractors go all the way up to our 9 series. The next 3 numbers represent the horsepower, so 1025 means it's a 25 horsepower 3-cylinder Yanmar diesel engine. And then R is the high spec, so R spec. These also do come in an E spec with 23 horsepower, where you just drop back a few of the niceties and horsepower. Yeah. On walking around here, we've got the R comes with the standard work light package, handy if you're going a little bit longer after dark. The higher back seat and the armrests. You also get a little bit of a smoother walkover operator station as well, and the tilt adjustable steering, which doesn't come on the E-Spec. And a cruise control as well, which
Does it?
Yeah, it's got cruise control. Ben hasn't been using
What
it.
do you know?
So yeah, this one here, same thing, just pull that up like the
Oh,
mole.
it is. That's what that is.
Yep.
Oh, there you
And
go.
that'll lock in your speed.
Beautiful. How good is that?
Foldable ROPS again. It does go a little bit higher, so it is a little bit, you do need to fold this down if you do want to put it in a garage. But yeah, very, very handy. You know, these are super strong and keeps us out of danger. The dash is quite easy to read. We've got our engine revs and the dash down below, indicators, lights, rear PDO engage here as well, and our throttle. The 2-speed, so 2-range transmission again, hydrostatic transmission, and our PDO speed selector down here, which gives us that ability to change our speed of our PDO.
Beautiful.
Choose between mid-mount and the rear.
Oh, because you can put a mower deck underneath, can't you? How handy is that?
And that mower deck underneath is a drive over. So
Right.
you don't need to climb in underneath and put locking collars on the PDO shaft or anything. Just literally drive over and she all clicks in together.
Beautiful.
And that's what this is for too. This is your float car.
Right, that's what that is.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Diff lock for the rear. Selectable 4-wheel drive. So the front wheel assist here. and then you've got a speed of drop control for your 3-point linkage at the back. So if you've got a heavy implement at the back and you don't want that to drop down really quickly when you push that lever, that'll slow that down for you. One other key advantage on the 1R series is that 3-point linkage control. That lever there just behind the joystick is position control. So some models will have a up, down, and it'll just be like operating a valve to lift it up, and then it'll go back to center, drop it down, and then it'll go back to center. But this is, you set it and it'll go to its certain height. You move that slider and that'll actually allow you to set your height where you want to return to.
Yep.
And lock that in, and then push that back, and you can always return to that height on your slasher.
Beautiful. How good design. Nice.
Cool. Parkable loaders as well, which is handy. So unhook our hydraulics, flick these levers out, and that stand will kick down, and we'll be able to sit that off the tractor if we need to drop it off. Okay, move on to the 4 Series. Like I said, this has got the 440R loader, 4044R tractor, so the 4 family of tractors, 44 horsepower in an R spec, high spec. John Deere loader, again with that quick park, so drop off our hydraulics. From the operator station, we hit these with our feet, these locking collars, and they'll actually push down. Use our hydraulics to stand the loader up, and our stand here at the front, just there, will fold down and support the loader and drive away. All self-leveling, and we do have our level indicators here on both of the models. So we line up those 2 lines there, and that'll actually tell you when you've got the loader bucket level.
Yeah, it's a handy feature. Use it all the time.
Really good. Especially with this big bucket, like this is a huge bucket.
Yeah, you almost can't see what you're doing half the time.
That's
so
right.
That's why these are key when you're doing it. It's great.
Exactly.
It's a very big bucket.
It is. Thanks to Digger for that as well. Shout out to them. The R-Spec on the 4 Series has what we call an e-hydro, so it's electronically controlled hydrostatic transmission. And it has some pretty awesome features because it's got that electronic control over that. So obviously our twin touch pedals here, easy to change our direction. But up here is where the magic happens. And I'll let Chris come around with the camera and have a bit of a look at that. So on this control panel here is our e-hydro features. So down the bottom we've got a big dial. And Ben was just telling me a story where he had this adjusted.
Don't do it. I'm kidding you again. Go for it.
This will adjust. This is called motion match, and this will adjust how far it takes the machine to stop after you let go of the pedals. So if you want it to be really nice and easy on your turf, and you want it to roll out and come to a steady stop, you put it all the way over this side, and that'll actually let you be easy on the grass.
Yep.
You put it all the way on this side, and that'll actually be more aggressive. So as you take your foot off the pedal, it'll come to a quick stop. Ben actually let that roll out a little bit too long and hit his new garage door, but we won't tell anyone about that.
Oh, too late.
Then across the bottom, we got some pretty cool buttons, which is our load match. So here, this one, if we engage that and we start to do our work, put our revs right up, use our foot control, and with load match engaged, that'll actually make sure that we're delivering the peak power and the engine revs stay constant or stay where you need them to be to deliver the power. So if you need to slow down to maintain that engine rev, it'll actually do that for you.
Yeah, well.
Our speed match here works in conjunction with our automotive style cruise control, where it can actually set a max speed. So if you want to go super slow and you're doing a trenching job or something that you need to go slow, you can set the speed that you want to go as max speed, you hit that button, and it won't allow the machine to go faster than that.
Right.
So if you then use your cruise control options to maintain that speed, it's a lot less likely to overrun that speed and speed up and slow down.
That's good, eh?
And then we've got our e-throttle. So that e-throttle button at the end there turns it into like a car. And I don't know whether you use this much or not,
I haven't used it yet, no.
but you can leave your throttle all the way down. You engage the e-throttle, and then when you press forward or reverse, that controls your engine revs.
Brings the revs up.
So as you go faster, it revs up, and as you go slower, it revs down. It becomes more like a car.
Yep. There you go.
And similarly for your cruise control, very similar to a car, you turn it on here and you can nudge it up, nudge it down, and you can hit your resume to return to that speed, which is really cool.
Need to figure all that out. That's crazy. And even like the electronic reverse on it, like you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but
Yes,
can you open something up?
that's
you
right.
explain it, 'cause I have no idea.
No, well,
100%, but
I haven't
you
used
used
it
it
a
yet?
lot.
you haven't used it a lot?
No, you get there's a sequence that you need to do in the operator station to get it in the right mode, but this ends up becoming a way to be able to inch closer at the rack here to be able to hook up to an implement. So if anyone's ever done that before, you'll know it's impossible to, or not impossible, but it's very rare that you'll get it perfectly lined up. Especially if your implement is heavy. This counterweight here, chocolate block full of concrete, isn't the easiest thing to move around. So once you get close, you can press those buttons so that you can get these pins lined up. There is a bit of adjustability on these side ones as well, these sway bars, and on the top link, but it is easier just to use those sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a great feature.
Yep.
Really good.
Cool. ROPS, these have the industrial tyres as well, so you can get a more aggressive ag tyre or a turf tyre option on these as well.
Yep.
We sell a lot of turf tyre options into councils, golf courses, things like that.
Yeah, we used to have them on the golf course. Just handy when you're taking a big turn, they don't rip anything up.
Exactly. Selectable front wheel drive as well, so you can turn that on and off depending on the requirements. The work lights as well. Reversing beacon, tilt adjustable steering, nice high back seat with the armrest similar to the 1R that we saw there a moment ago. And probably one of the biggest things from a Hutchinson Pierce perspective is the badges that we see right there, which is the John Deere warranty covers these machines for 6 years, and at Hutchinson Pierce we extend that out to a 10-year 1,000 hour warranty, because we recognise that these tractors going to customers like yourself, Ben, people aren't putting huge amount of hours on them.
Yeah.
And we back our products, and we said, well, if you guys keep that for 10 years, you're not going to be turning these over all the time.
Yeah.
We'll back our customers up for 10 years, 1,000 hours.
Beautiful. That's good. Great idea.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, that's our tractors in our Gator. Thanks Ben for having the chat.
No worries, mate. Thank you.